Mitikai Orason, you have two pairs of eyes looking at you right now. I wish to speak about Candace Owens. I told myself that I would not be ragging on any individuals or groups of people when I started these videos over a year ago, except for the high-profile politicians, because, you know, they're just begging for it. But what Candace Owens continues to do, I feel compelled to post this video. Now, she is a fierce black conservative, and she is very well possessed of the facts and very eloquent in expressing them, very passionate about how Democrats have absolutely failed black Americans, especially poorer and urban black Americans, and how Republicans have done many things for black Americans, and especially poorer urban black Americans. How Democrats have failed Americans, and how Republicans have actually done a lot of good things for Americans. She's presents herself very well in these cases. But she also makes very personal attacks against people. Like, you can't touch me, I am right about everything. And the latest attack has really raised my ire. Kim Klacik is a politician and businesswoman in Baltimore, Maryland. Last year, she ran for a congressional seat. She won the Republican primary, even though many Republicans were saying she didn't have a prayer. Now, she lost the general election, handily, I must admit, but her profile has shot through the roof. And like Candace, she tells her constituency in Baltimore, and also nationally, how bad the Democrats are at managing non-whites, and how Republicans actually have quite a few advantages over them. She's organized a lot of black conservatives and libertarians in Maryland and Baltimore, focusing on this very topic. She calls it the Red Renaissance. Now, Candace recently tweeted, I'm going to do this not verbatim, I'm going to paraphrase. Candace recently tweeted that that black Americans are too brainwashed by Democrats, and she just complained about that. She lamented this. Klacik came back, and again, I am not verbatim quoting, but she said, if you actually, first of all, she said, which I really applaud her for, she said that most black folks she knows don't buy all this, quote, racism nonsense. They understand that the problem is actually classism, which I've been saying for decades. So, hurrah for her. And she also said to Candace, if you're actually engaged with black folks, you probably figure that out for yourself. And I believe she said something about don't lump all black people or anybody into this monolithic mindset. So Candace responds by saying that you, Kim, are actually an ex-stripper. You did cocaine, maybe you still are, and you hired a Democrat strategist for your campaign, refusing to speak to the points that Kim Klacik raised. And her source for the accusations that she raised, well, an anonymous source. My Lord. Okay, first of all, both black conservative women, I think both in their 30s, hitting they're in the same demographics in 3 or 4 areas, and yet she attacks Kim Klacik and just gets nasty. She just gets down in the gutter. And then she says, an anonymous source? Who actually does this and actually believes people or anyone when they say an anonymous source? Politicians do it on all sides, and it just erases, rubs out all credibility. As far as Kim Klacik hiring a Democrat strategist, so friggin' what? That's actually a wonderful thing that Kim Klacik is actually willing and able to reach across the aisle. We used to applaud stuff like that, but not Candace Owens. Just so personal and so nasty and just damaging the Republican brand. And I say that she's emblematic of what's wrong because there are so many conservative and libertarian commentators who just say nasty things. I'm thinking of Ben Shapiro, I'm thinking of Michael Knowles, I'm thinking of Candace's brother from another mother, Brandon Tatum, and others. And they use words like degenerate and sickos and idiots and fools and so on and so on. Now, you disagree with the policy, that's fine, but do not attack people personally because you're causing all sorts of pain. We shouldn't be about pain. When I say we, I mean humans, okay? And it seemed to me that Republicans were nicer to the, quote, opposition, and that's changed recently, and I think that's because, you know, their man was in the White House. It's just all sorts of wrong and all sorts of counterproductive, and it's just so incredibly wrong. What we need to do is dialogue, and Kim Klacik is doing that, right? Democrat strategist. She's organized all these people, these mostly blacks, but some whites too, and Latinos in the Red Renaissance. So she actually has a legitimate point in claiming that, or questioning that Candace Owens is not engaging black people. And instead of Candace actually responding to that, responding to those issues, those points, she makes a personal attack. And she makes a personal attack about, you know, her hobnobbing with the Democrat. On both sides, and you know how I feel about these sides. There aren't just two sides, but the two sides like to pretend that there are. So you have to agree point by point on everything that the Republicans say for you to be considered a Republican and not a degenerate and what have you, or a fool. Same thing with the Democrats. The Democrats, I believe, are much worse when it comes to just attacking people. But the Republicans are doing it too. I don't agree with everything that Trump did. I think that he was a good president. As one commentator said, put him on mute and probably would have gone down as a decent president. But there were some major issues that I disagreed with. I disagree with. So what? So what? Our job is to talk. Our job is to dialogue, not to excuse, not to enable, to dialogue. And find some points of consensus so that we can move forward and build something greater together. Build a better society. Build a better America. Build a better us. And what is happening right now with Candace Owens and Kim Klacik is just, she posted a video or two about this, and she and her family are reeling with the idea that the most vicious attack, the most destructive attack, comes from another young, black, conservative woman. So all I have to say to end this, for now, is peace. 4 fingers.